You're listening to the John and Heidi Show. Now, featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris. We've got Dan in the studio. How you doing, sir?
Hey, pretty darn well. You know, a little chilly. Just a little chilly.
Yeah. It is chilly. Time of year for that, though.
Like everybody else. Yeah, we'll get through it. Heck, another 7-8 months. We'll be good.
Is that all?
We'll be good.
Time for next fall.
Huge day today in our country.
Oh, really?
The greatest country ever devised by mankind, ever in the history of mankind.
Absolutely.
And or countries.
Yeah.
It was this day, 1775, the first official U.S. flag was raised.
Oh, wow.
Yup, aboard the naval vessel, the USS Alfred.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which was interesting. It had the 13 alternating red and white stripes, but in place of, up in the corner where you see the stars now, it was actually flying the Union flag.
Really?
The British flag up. Yep.
So that's what was there before we had the circle with stars, and now
Correct.
later the field of stars.
Yep, and that is considered the very first official U.S. flag, referred to as the Grand Union flag.
Okay.
So that was kind of interesting. If you can find one of the originals, you just walk that thing on an Antiques Roadshow, and they're going to go just crazy.
They would.
Yeah.
They'll go crazy. And, happy birthday to Ozzy Osbourne today.
There you go.
Ozzy is 70, of course. If
All
you
aboard
grew up
the
with him
crazy
like
train.
I did, we know him as John Michael Osbourne.
Really?
That is his real name, correct?
Did not know that.
And believe it or not, he's going to be back on tour this summer, as a matter of fact. Going to get within spitting distance Sioux Falls. June 26th, he'll be in Kansas City. June 28th, he'll be in Des Moines. I'm not making this up.
Spitting distance.
That is spitting distance.
You got way better spitting distance than I do.
July 30th in St. Paul
at
the XL Energy Center.
Yeah, it's still not spitting distance.
Why he's doing it, I don't know. He's got a net worth of about $220 million, but
he probably wants to buy some new shoes or something.
He's going to go back out there. So, I. Dun, 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 dun,
You ever seen Ozzy?
No, never actually. To be quite honest,
you've seen him in concert?
I like a couple of his songs. I remember when the first Black Sabbath albums came out, because I was there, and I thought, wow, that's really different. That's pretty heavy stuff. And I guess I got my dose of it back then. So yeah.
Well, we'll have to see. Maybe we'll make a road trip this summer.
Let's
it's
do
not
it.
Quite within spitting distance, but it is within driving distance.
Let's go get on that crazy train.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Mr. Dan Farris on Sunny 93.3.
Before you know it, Christmas will be here. Are you ready? If you plan to use a credit card while shopping, make sure you have the very best credit card for you. It's free to click around and see what we can do for you at bettercreditcards.net. We have options from many different banks and different credit card companies who put out their best offers to earn your business. See if we can help you get a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net. Bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. It's time right now for Ranger Dan's Critter Corner.
Well, I'm rough, tough, and ready. I'm a heck of a man. Eat my beans and weenies from a frying pan.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I loves to wrestle bears and lasso ducks. Run over possums in my government truck.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I loves all the campers and the animals, too. If you're picking on critters, I'm coming after you.
He's Ranger Dan.
Yes, sir. I'm Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Good morning,
Hey,
Ranger Dan.
you little scamps, you little radio rangers. Gosh darn it. Mom and Dad love you so much.
They do.
Especially around tax time. You know, the Christmas season is here, and every now and again I do get into the big city, and I notice my good friends over at Lewis Drug has some live reindeer out in the parking lots over the course of the weekend.
Nice.
Real actual reindeer, or were they? Because you know what, little radio rangers? Caribou look a heck of a lot like reindeer, in fact.
Really?
Yep, to the naked eye, which is most eyes, unless there's something over them. Look almost identical. But here's the deal. Did you know, and this is kind of odd when it comes to that kind of critter, both male and female reindeer, both male and female, both have antlers.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
And that's when you see, you know, the reindeer pulling Santa's sleigh right around Christmas Eve, making a little trip there. There are male and female reindeer. You got Vixen and Blitzen and Horn Dog and Leaky and... some male and female, but they all got the same kind of antlers, and I just think that's kind of fascinating. Did you also know the regular land reindeer, they can travel up to 3,000 miles in a year? That makes them the longest documented movers of any land animal there is on the planet.
Wow.
All right.
Yep, so they do get around, especially around Christmas Eve when old Santa hunkers up his sleigh there and lets her rip. Which brings me to this. I have had more than one inquiry about people going online, maybe dropping by Northview Bait and Tackle there on North Kiwanis. My good friend Matt Staub pick up some Ranger Dan merchandise for the holidays for the kiddies and saying, there's just so much stuff. Sometimes I just can't decide, and I do have that hard to buy for person. Are there any alternatives for Ranger Dan merchandise? You bet there is. Thanks for inquiring. They're hot off the presses. Yep, just released today. You can get yourself an official Ranger Dan gift card.
Well, there you go.
Nothing says Merry Christmas like a card, and they can make their own choices when they get her done there. And I am doing a special right up to Christmas Eve. You can get yourself a $25 Ranger Dan gift card for just $29.95. Buy two. Buy two $25 gift cards and get a third for just $25. Purchase $100 worth of gift cards and receive an additional $50 of gift cards for just $75. Ranger Dan gift cards, just in time for the holidays, are available on Amazon Prime, as I mentioned, Northview Bait and Tackle on North Kiwanis, and now at the Log Cabin Bar on West Burnside right here in Sioux Falls. Well, that's it today. Radio Rangers, you have yourself a good one, and remember, stay in school, go to church, say your prayers, eat your vegetables, don't be playing soccer, no, let me catch you wearing Crocs. Ranger Dan out. Yes, sir.
Again, Ranger Dan's Critter Corner right here on Sunny 93.3.
If you have a drug problem, don't let it ruin your life. You can be in treatment as soon as tomorrow, and you can start to get clean in as little as 7 days. Take the first step to get drugs out of your life at timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything, so you really have nothing to lose. Timeforrehab.com. Start your new life. You deserve it. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. It's time right now for Water Cooler Talk, brought to you by Aqua One. Mr. Dan Farris back in the studio right now. Dan, what do you got kind of a serious look on your face here.
Well, it's not really. I just got kind of curious, from the Midwest, mainly. I did live down south for about a year and a half, but for the most part, I've been a Midwest guy. Born and raised Minneapolis, did 2 tours of duty in Northwest Wisconsin, did radio in Iowa a million years ago. Now South Dakota, you get around. I just thought with our first real blast of winter here, I found a little thing about the best and worst states to live in for winter itself.
Nice.
And some of these may surprise you. I looked at the top 5 worst states.
Yeah, we're not
South Dakota's actually number 6.
Oh, wow, that's good.
Number 6. Iowa's at number 11. Wisconsin's at number 7. As I mentioned, South Dakota's at number 6. This surprised me because Nebraska, I don't see a lot of difference in Nebraska winter as opposed to South Dakota winter.
No, I don't either.
But they're at like number 25 out of all 50 states. Yeah,
it's not bad there.
I guess not.
And there's a lot of, when you think of southern Nebraska, that's almost Kansas.
Okay.
So,
all right.
It's not so bad.
There you go. And the number 1 considered the worst state for winter as far as weather-wise. What do you think?
Alaska?
It is Minnesota.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Minnesota.
You didn't give me a chance to guess. Can I guess now? Is it Minnesota?
Rounding out the top 5 are Maine, Alaska, and Michigan. Now, you want to go the other way, the very best states, and one of these kind of freaked me out until I read the why.
Hawaii.
Okay, at number 5 is New Mexico. Number 46, Florida. Number 47, for one of the best states to live in winter, is Colorado.
Really?
That gets just hammered. But because the mountains and everything else, they have developed such a vibe over the years as far as really high rent ski areas and recreation and all this other stuff that is so conducive to basically they refer to it as a winter wonderland.
Okay.
So Colorado, when you think about it, they've really made bank out of that stuff. So, and I guess that's why that's at number 47. 48 is California. 49, Arizona. The number 1 best weather during the wintertime at number 50 is Hawaii.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think we should go visit all those places.
I would love to visit those places.
Visit the nice ones now.
Well, I'm going to Florida.
Nice.
Well, after Christmas, yeah, because I got people down there. So. Try to call me, I won't be picking up.
Well, Dan, thank you for that report. You got some entertainment news for us yet, too?
I do, yeah. We'll be taking a look at what was going on over the weekend at the box office. Some pretty cool stuff. So
we got that on the way. And coming up here in just a moment, I'm going to visit with Jill from Sad Isn't Bad. We'll get all the details about what that's all about coming up in a bit.
The average household has thousands of dollars in credit card debt. If you find yourself in that position and you're making minimum payments, you could be in debt for a long time. Make sure you have the very best card with the very best rates at bettercreditcards.net. We work with different banks and different credit card companies who put out their best offers to earn your business. See if we can help you get a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net, bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We have Jill Stabner joining us right now from a group called Sad Isn't Bad. Jill, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Well, I appreciate you taking some time to chat. You guys have a couple of events that you do throughout the year, but we'll talk about the dates and all of that. But first, let's talk about Sad Isn't Bad, the program, and kind of how this got started.
Sure. Sad Isn't Bad is a grief support program that's aimed towards any child school age, kindergarten through 12th grade, and their caregivers, whoever they identify those caregivers. It might be parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles. We've even had foster parents come and bring kids. So it's for any child that has had a death loss in their family, and it can be any kind of death loss. But we want to provide them with some support as they're going through that grieving process, and we do that as a family. So we look at, addressing the needs of the whole family, not just the kids, not just the adults, but the family together.
And this is something that, many people listening have probably been through something like this, and they understand certainly that that's a time where, it's good to have people around you. How did this program get started, and how long have you guys been doing this?
Well, it got started in 2007 by some people that had identified in the community that there was a need for kids to have some grief support. And it started then with just looking at the kids, just having a grief support for the kids, and it was real evident shortly after that they needed to incorporate the whole family. And so that's in 2008 is when they got started with the group as it is now.
Now, for people listening, if they would like to maybe sign up to come to an event and actually, to meet up, how do they do that? Where do you go? How do I get more info on this?
Well, we have several ways, actually. We have a web page that is sadisntbad.com, and you leave out the little apostrophe and the isn't, so it's SADISNTBAD.com, so they can go there and register there. There's also a Facebook page, Sad Isn't Bad again, which will lead you to registration. There's a phone number, which is 605-299-2224. So any of those ways you can get in contact with myself and do the registration.
Very, very nice. And then you have events throughout the year. You said you have a few of those that are scheduled already, and then there's some that we don't know when they're going to be, but there will be others as well.
Right. We have 3 sessions every year, and we go by the school calendar year. So we have 2 sessions that are scheduled in 2020 as of right now. The first session is in January. Each session is 4 Tuesday nights in a row. So it's January 21st through February 11th is the winter session. Each session starts at 5:30 at night, and we have a meal so that families don't have to rush home and feed the kids quick before they come. So we provide a family-style meal, and then we break down into groups about 6 o'clock, and then the session is over at 7:30. So the winter session, as I said, starts January 21st, and then the spring session starts March 17th, and again, that's for 4 weeks. And then we'll have a fall session, but that's not scheduled yet. We usually don't do the calendar until it gets closer to that time frame.
Absolutely. Is there a fee to get involved, or is this all free?
No, it's all free. We get our funding primarily from the United Way, which is awesome. We really appreciate their support. And so, yeah, the sessions themselves are completely free to the families.
That's awesome. So thank you, United Way, and also thank you to all the people who contribute to the United Way. That's really, really cool.
Absolutely.
And I'm on the website right now, sadisntbad.com. I'll throw a link to this on our Facebook page as well. And I see on here there's a video of this young lady, Jill Stabner. She's on Kelloland Living. That's you, right?
That would be me, yes.
So if you want to know more, you can watch a video to learn a little bit more on the website, SadIsntBad.com. Again, Jill, thank you for all that you do. I think it's really cool that you guys are doing this because there certainly was a need, and you're filling a need, and I think that's awesome.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a great group, and we really appreciate all the support that we've had to be able to continue to provide the group sessions for families.
Well, I'm going to throw a link to all of the information on our Facebook page, facebook.com/sunnyradio.
If you can't have a drink without it leading to another drink and another drink, maybe it's time to get help. There are programs designed to help take alcohol out of your life for good at timeforrehab.com. Don't let a drinking problem spill over into other areas of your life. Get help to quit drinking and start living the life you truly deserve at timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You're listening to Sunny 93.3. It's time right now for entertainment news of the day with Mr. Dan Farris.
Hey, what the heck is that?
I don't know.
No, it's Harry Belafonte. That's hey, let come in. I have no idea where that just came from, but let's go with it. And I want to go. Hey, celebrities, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think they're pretty fabulous. So they're pretty fabulous. So, just in the sides before we get into box office receipts over the weekend, there was stuck at home because inclement weather, whatever, yes. Sitting there and punching around the old channels. On one channel, I got my best friend Keanu Reeves in the movie The Replacements, one of the best football movies ever made.
Nice.
And then I flip, down during a commercial, and there's John Wick. Hello.
What?
Right.
I think I have the world's record for watching John Wick.
You probably are getting close.
Probably do.
And
yeah.
you don't even have it on DVD.
Pretty
DVD,
amazing.
Which is amazing.
No, I don't. I still have a coal-powered television set.
Coal-powered.
There was me and Keno, man. I know when he's doing a lot of these lines, man, seems he's like, look, he's talking right to me. Talking right.
Thinking of you while he's delivering that line.
So let's see. Of course, we're coming off a holiday weekend, and that means box office bonanzas. A lot of people, part of their holiday tradition, Thanksgiving, is hitting a movie afterwards.
Oh, yeah. We did not do that this year, but yeah, that is a big deal.
Frozen 2 absolutely blew them away. Friday alone for Frozen 2, $34 million. Saturday, $32 million.
Nice.
Sunday matinees, almost $19 million. Gross to date, almost $300 million, and that's only been in release for a couple of weeks. 2-3 weeks, something like that.
They're doing all right.
Knives Out, which I'm hearing really good things about. If you're into like the old Agatha Christie whodunit type things.
Right.
Not a ton of money, but it's sitting here at number 2. Total receipts 41.7 after a couple weeks of release.
Nice.
Ford versus Ferrari, which you two, Heidi and John, gave rave reviews to.
Excellent.
I told you in the entire movie, so you don't even have to see it now.
Number 3 after the long weekend, and it's got total gross of $81 million and some change. Number 4, Queen and Slim. I don't know what it is, so I'm just going to pass it. This is the interesting part. Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, Tom Hanks.
Right.
Okay, it hasn't really been great when you consider Tom Hanks' track record.
Yeah.
But it's sitting at number 5 after this weekend, after a couple of weeks release. It's got a grand total of $34 million so far. And so I was interested in that. I'm going, Tom Hanks movie, $34 million. Boy, this studio's got to be bleeding on this. But I actually took the time to look it up. Production of this entire thing was right around $25 million. Okay. So it's in the black.
Yeah, nice.
It's good. In the black, and I think it's one of those films that's going to stay around for a long time.
It's going to be, kind of have some hang time.
21 Bridges is at number 6. Dare I Continue? Sure, why not? Playing with Fires at number 7. Midway, which I'm guessing is going to be the box office bomb of 2019, cost well over $100 million to produce, and after a month release, it's sitting at $50 million.
Ouch.
Total box office. Joker actually jumped a slot from last week when it was number 10, sitting at number 9 now. Total receipts $330 million. 6.
Wow.
There you go. That's what I know, and that's it. Remember, it's not who you know, it's who I know. Keno, call me.
Please return my calls.
Well, thank you for the update, sir.
Yeah, my pleasure.
It's always nice to get that. And coming up here in a little bit, we've got a thing called Tuesdays with Charlie. We'll get to that. It's all on the way on the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris on Sunny 93.3.